lads, so one of the newest characters in the game is of course the new 1000-year Blood War version of Bambietta. She's a great character, and one of the main appealing things about her is that she is a Captain NUKER, a more traditional Captain NUKER when compared to the likes of Yachiru Unohana. And both of these characters are capable of nuking both the melee and range Captain Killer guild quests. The only difference for the most part is that Bambietta will be more consistent. And as of right now, we currently have the Ranger Captain Killer guild quest, so I thought let's try out Bambietta and see how she does perform in the guild quest she was designed for. Before we do though, let's get a quick run in with a max transcended Yachiru Unohana. Because I know a lot of people did try and get this character 5-5 last month, and maybe didn't have enough orbs to get Bambietta this month. I was fortunate enough to get a 5-5 and then a 1-5 Bambietta, one of the third dupes. But even though I do have access to Bambietta, it's still more beneficial for me personally to continue to bring Yachiru Unohana since she is max transcended. Real quick though, this is the build that we are using. These are the accessories, these are the links, max transcended with full stamina and weakened defense. For those wondering though, nuking when it comes to the Captain Killer guild quest ultimately comes down to if Aizen decides to use his SA2. If he does, you're able to go through all 5 waves very consistently, but it ultimately comes down to if you can sync it fast enough with his SA2. In that case, we hope to get a decent playtime, but not a nuke run that we were going for. So that's usually how I get a good run with Yachiru. Not really the best run, I will be honest. I wasn't talking there because I had to do a couple resets. For some reason, at least with me, I can't get like the perfect run. And that was actually kind of a bad run, to be honest. Usually I get like a sub 1, sub 2 with that. Kind of did it a tad bit slower there. But you know what, for today, we will take it. Maybe because I don't have a T-set, the nuke to all 5 waves isn't as consistent as I'd like it to be, but that ultimately comes down to Aizen on when he decides to use SA2. That's literally what you're working with here. So I found it to be a bit more consistent using my SA1 straight away, then soul bombing, because by using my SA1, it almost always allows Aizen to use his SA2 the second he gets close to someone. But ideally, unfortunately, we can't showcase that today. You want to just keep resetting until Aizen uses SA2 right away, and hopefully, if you soul bomb quick enough, you nuke for all 5 waves. Alright, so now it's time for Bambietta to shine, right? We're going to do our next 2 tickets using her. And in this case, this is a 1 out of 5 Bambietta showcase. So we'll only get better from here. As you can see, only SP level 10. We've given her full stamina damage and of course also weakened defense as a bonus ability. Yes, she already does have weakened defense, but weakened defense does stack. So by using my soul bomb, it's going to allow our entire team to do 60% more damage instead of the usual 30%. These are the accessories that we are using for her. A Tenjitai, Misanga, and of course also Cape Fastener. Then we just have a mixture of full stamina damage and also strong attack damage as our links. Next up, we have Aizen. He is one of the more important characters in the team. Right now, he's like the main damage dealer for the ranged Captain Killer guild quest, unless you have Bambietta max transcended. And in his case, these are the accessories that we're using on him. These are the links, so once more a mixture of full stamina damage and also strong attack damage. He's max transcended with full stamina and also damage to burning enemies, since Bambietta does apply burn. Then lastly, we have Yuha. 1 out of 5, he's going to be our team booster. These are the accessories. These are the links, just normal attack damage. He's 1 out of 5, so only level 10 attack. And for his bonus abilities, I will be honest, it's me kind of being lazy here. Not like it really matters all too much because he is a melee character. He still has his Brave Battle skills. I use him in Brave Battles, so I'd rather just stick to that. It doesn't make that much of a difference. Either way though, let's jump in and see how Bambietta does perform in the Captain Killer guild quest, where keep in mind the final boss is a speed character, so right now is the best time to showcase her. Alright then, so I have no idea how this is actually going to go. Is she going to be good here? She should, right? So let's use our SA1, then let's use our SA2. Unfortunately, out of the range for that attack, but at least the SA2 was able to do some respectable damage. Then we can use our SA3 into Kenpachi, and for our very first run, looks like we got like a 13-second play time. We can definitely improve on that, so let's try that once more. Alright then, so Bambietta attempt number 2. I think the idea we could possibly get a sub 10 second, and that is what we want to go for. Let's use our SA1 there, then let's use our SA2. Gonna do some respectable damage there. Let's soul bomb now. Yeah, wow, look at that. That wasn't too bad, you know. Granted, Aizen is, of course, doing a lot of carrying here. He is an amazing character for Captain Killer guild quest. But did you see the soul bomb damage at 1 out of 5? That wasn't too bad. I mean, to get a sub 10 second playtime with a 1 out of 5 Bambietta, and just for the record, for the most part, this is the score I was getting with Yamamoto max transcended like over a month ago before Yachiru or Bambietta is out. So I will say it's really nice to finally see us get characters like this for a guild quest that has needed the support, because now you have 2 good options. If you have Bambietta, of course use her in the ranged guild quest. If you have Yachiru, use her in the melee. If you have Bambietta duped out or max transcended, use her in both the melee and range, and vice versa. If you have Yachiru max transcended or duped out, use her in both the melee or ranged guild quests. Now you have options, right? literally a month ago, we didn't have that. But I will say the fact that I do have a max strength that actually makes me not want to go for dupes of Bambietta. But considering the fact that we are getting the very hard difficulty of Guild Quest in less than a month's time, I want to see how Bambi's going to perform in there. Because that's where the difference might shine a bit more. And why you might be more inclined to have Yachiru for the melee week and Bambietta for the range. Because right now you can kind of get away with only having one of them, assuming you had that character duped out. But let's jump back into it and see if we can get a better score. Because ideally, if we possibly can get a sub 5, that would be really good. So let's go here. Let's use our SA1. Then let's use our SA2. Enemy spawned right behind us. Kind of unfortunate. But we are, still a great nuke for the most part. And that SA3 after the nuke definitely does do a lot of damage there. So in that case, that was a 9-second-ish run. If we used our SA1, then we actually could have beat the quest. But let's retry that. All right, then. So is this attempt number 3? It might just be. Let's see how we go. So SA1, already inflicting the SP, which is great. Let's go here, use our SA2. I wanted to try and sync that with the Aizen if we possibly can. Let's see what the damage is looking like on the SA2. I mean, a good amount to be fair, but let's try that once more. All right, let's hopefully onto what is our final run. Let's go here, use our SA1, then 3, then Soul Bomb, which went into Retsu. That's not too bad to be fair. And then the SA2, for the most part, does actually clean up. So we'll take that for now. Maybe we could have reset enough to get a fast run. But either way, for a 1 out of 5 Bambietta, granted we are with a max strength at Aizen. Still love that end pose. We're still able to get a very easy and consistent sub 10-second clear time, which, for most people out there, is probably good enough. Any extra dupes of Bambietta you do get, the way better nuke she becomes. Even at 2 out of 5 and 3 out of 5, I've seen her actually nuke. At 1 out of 5, I haven't seen her be able to nuke. Maybe if the sides get better, for example. But I definitely seen people nuke at 2 and 3 out of 5. But yeah, at least from the few runs that we did do and the few resets, very consistent score. Great damage output in all of our attacks. The SA1, for the most part, always inflicted a star element. That allowed our SA3 to do a lot of damage. Of course, our Soul Bomb itself is our main damage dealer here. And even the SA2 wasn't too bad. Most of the time, outside of maybe one positioning of the enemies, the SA2 was able to hit a large amount of enemies and also go into the next wave, which I think is kind of cool. The spawns and layouts for the enemies in this quest are quite small and centered into the middle. So an SA2 like that is able to do some respectable amount of damage, especially once more if you do get dupes of her. Either way though, that was the video for today using the 2 queens of the Captain Killer Guild quest, Yachiru and most importantly Bambietta. More so showcasing Bambi today since we did do Yachiru last month in the melee Captain Killer Guild quest. But yeah, I'm curious to know what team you guys are using and score you are getting. This is basically the last time potentially we are going to do the Captain Killer Guild quests on the hard difficulty, because by the time they next comes back, we should be having the very hard difficulty. And I'm excited to try that out. Either way though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.